The Knights Celestial are believed to have been founded around the 10th founding. Based on the world of Locus 8, situated in the eastern fringes, a few light years away from the Damocles Gulf, their origins are officially unknown and unproven. However, they are assumed to be a successor of the White Templars chapter, as they fight incredibly similar to that of the Templars, often going on almost suicidal crusades against traitor legions. The Knights Celestial have only ever been attacked by Xenos threats from the Tau and Dark Eldar and successfully repelled them, but have never joined nor launched an assault or crusade on the Xenos, preferring to destroy those who have fallen. Unknown to the Imperium, but the protector of the Locust sector, Inquisitor Tuplov of the Ordo Mechanicus, he actually oversaw the creation of the Knights Celestial, upon discovering a space hulk containing 3 companies of Emperor's children, who had been lost after escaping from Istvan III. Their fleet had been lost in the war, and had been floating around in the meteor belt surrounding Locus 12 for a few centuries. Upon realizing that she had discovered a large amount of loyalist Emperor's children, she fabricated a report of their creation, and their purpose of hunting down those who had fallen. It is unconfirmed that their chapter master is Saul Tarvitz, after escaping with Garrow from Istvan III, and went on a quest to collect those Emperor's children loyal to the Emperor and return them to a fighting force, regardless of how small they had become. The Knights Celestial are not trusted by many, and have only been accepted as allies by the Mantis Warriors, and in particular the Praying Mantidae, whose job it is to seek out and destroy the traitorous Astral Claws. They have launched many crusades alongside the Mantis Warriors, and have helped them in their goal, leading them to settle down on Locus 13, as it is close enough to a common exit point in the warp for a Chaos raiding fleet looking to prey on both Tau and Imperial fleets. The name originates from legends surrounding their settling on the planet of Locus 13, as at this point the planet had been almost utterly left to its own devices, and had lost almost all technology and only knew the Emperor as the King of Angels and worshipped him as a god in a similar way to the Ecclesiarchy. And as the Knights Celestial landed and declared themselves the Emperor's children, they were immediately embraced as angels sent by the Emperor to protect them from the nightmarish raids of Chaos and Dark Eldar. The Knights Celestial's combat doctrine has been heavily inspired by the legends surrounding them from their home planets, as what their initiates believe isn't what is now preached and embraced by the more senior of the chapter. The chapter is organised almost completely to the Codex Astartes standards, by the reversal of tactical and assault companies, as the use of jump backs allows them to strike from the heavens and crush the enemies in their crusade for redemption, in what their battle brothers had done. They maintain all that the Emperor's children stood for, and so have not actually altered their physical appearance, still maintaining the perfectly chiselled faces and long flowing silver hair of their Primarch, as it is seen as godly and the vision of perfection within the populace of their home world. As the first 3 companies were equipped with their original armour from the pre-heresy, the chapters have an extremely large amount of relics, common enough for almost everyone down to the sergeant level to be equipped or armed in something from then, causing large amounts of jealousy and suspicion in other chapters, as well as their adamant desire to maintain as much of their Legion colours as possible, despite the Inquisitor's direction and efforts to hide their identity. This has caused them to clash with their official progenitors, the Imperial Fists, as their refusal to submit Gene Seed or indeed any relics lead to small but violent clashes between the task force sent to Locus and the First Company task force sent to relay the rejection from the Knights Celestial. The captain of the First Company, Captain Arethusa Enzo, personally oversaw the combat between the Imperial Fists and the Knights Celestial. However, the biggest conflict between the Knights Celestial came from a sudden and unprovoked attack by the Carcharodon's Astra upon the moon of Locus 7, where the Knights Celestial 3rd, 6th and 7th Companies had been sent to repel the Iron Warrior assault on Locus 7, which is the system's Forge World. Having repelled the Iron Warriors from the system, the Knights Celestials were low on resources and caught off guard by the assault of the Carcharodons. The Carcharodons quickly swept through the ranks of the exhausted Knights Celestial and mowed them down. It was only the valiant efforts of Locus 9 Armoured Column that saved the Knights Celestial from complete annihilation in the assault, leading their tanks into the fray to disrupt and destroy any vehicles the Carcharodons had to offer. Upon the retreat of the Carcharodons and the slaughter of the 3 companies, the Knights Celestial had been left on the back foot and currently rebuilding their forces from the surplus of followers on their local planets, while slowly trying to pull away from their Legion's connections under the ever-growing suspicion of the Order Hereticus, who had noted that this was the second time in the Imperium had ever recorded the Carcharodons operating within Imperial space, and that was against another supposedly loyal chapter.